let's take a look at the power of citizenship. Write this down. The most powerful principle of kingdoms is citizenship. I wish I had 2 more days just to talk about it, because it is so deep. Nothing is more powerful in a kingdom than citizenship. The same way is true about a country, of course. Nothing is more powerful in any country than citizenship. I'll explain in a minute. Number 2, citizenship is a governmental covenant with the individual. When you become a citizen, the entire government becomes your servant. That's power. Thirdly, citizenship is access to rights. This is why it's difficult to get citizenship. Because once a government gives you citizenship, they've given you power to rights. This is why you've got to fight for citizenship. You got to wait a long time to get it, because they're giving you what? Power. Number 4, citizenship is the commitment to a common set of laws and ideals and values. Citizenship means that you have decided to obey the laws established by a country. You're going to live under them. You're going to obey the ideals of that country, their basic core values. Citizenship. And number 5 rather, citizenship is a privilege and not a what? A right. This is very important, because you know, sometimes people go around and say they demand that they become citizens. That's the challenge of America right now. We've got over, what, 13 million Latin Americans and Mexicans in America. And they're trying to figure what to do with them. Some of them are brought in to work on special projects, then they go back home to Mexico. But they decide they like the lifestyle, so they don't want to go back. And now the government has over 13 million people in its country who are not registered, don't know who they are, and they are literally enjoying the privileges without the responsibility. They have no right to health care. They have no right to free medicine. They have no right to all the tax breaks. They have no right. Why? They are not citizens. How many things we demand from God and we ain't legal? Look at number 4. Here you are disobeying the laws of God and then demanding God to pay your rent off. And God is saying, now you confused here. You claim to be my citizen, disobeying my law, but you still want the benefits? It's a country. Everybody say taxes. Say it loud. Taxes come into the Bahamas, okay? So don't get too excited. Now, taxation in the Bahamas, our first tax is what? NIB. They don't call it that, but that's what it is. That's why they're using our money to build things. Okay? So, that's our first tax. Now, who pays NIB? Everybody who is working. That means it's a tax. Okay, in America, like any other country, France, Jamaica, everybody pays tax. In Jamaica, they call it VAT. Value-added tax, boy, it's a big one. You buy a car in Jamaica for $50,000, Jamaican dollars, you got to pay $150 to bring it in. They add value to it, double it. I heard them discussing that here too. So buy a car fast. Okay, now, taxation is important. I wish I could explain this. Tax is proof of citizenship. Write that down. This behaviors don't understand that yet, but you will. How many times have you seen recently some people's names in the papers who didn't pay NIB? Come on, talk to me. And they don't care who they are, right? I mean, even MPs' names are getting front page. Why? Because you see, when it comes to taxes, it's a very dangerous thing, because it is proof that you are a true citizen. You go to jail in America if you don't pay taxes. They don't take no mercy. Now, Every country does it, except us. We kind of talk about it for a while. But we're going to get there. You watch. Now, why is taxation proof of citizenship? If you are a citizen, you are benefiting from what? The privileges of the country. But who will pay for them privileges? You. You want to drive on good roads? We need some money. You want to fix electricity? We need some money. So they get the money from the citizens and they spend it on the infrastructure. Guess who drives on the road? The citizens. So here's somebody who's been in the country for 40 years, using the roads, driving every day, and don't pay taxes. What do you call that? Come on, just a Bahamian word. Thieving. Thank you. Good girl. Everybody say stealing. Why is that stealing? You are taking something you didn't pay for. Are you following me? All right. So now you'll understand something you never understood before. Words of God. Malachi 3. You have robbed me. How have we robbed you? In tithes, as taxes, and offerings, as investments. He says, you robbed me. They say, how? He said, you didn't pay your taxes. And because you haven't paid your taxes, he said, watch this, he said, I will send the devourer to eat all your crops, destroy all of your farms, and you will have nothing. Now wait a minute. God is a good God. He loves us. He wants to have the best. I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. God said, yeah, but you take my tithes. Watch him now. He comes down with law. It's a country. Jesus never placed emphasis on tithes, taxes, because to him, that's a given. You don't discuss NIB, you pay it. Hello? You can't argue about NIB. It's a law. You don't argue with the law. You obey the law. That leads me to number 6. Citizenship requires what? Responsibility and accountability. The power of citizenship. It requires responsibility and accountability. My friends, if you are going to live in the kingdom of God, you just can't live happy-go-lucky and, do what I feel like and run to the altar and God will bless me and then go and mess up again and God bless me and kind of use this grace thing. God says, look, there is an accountability. You will pay for what you do not do. You will suffer the consequence of irresponsibility. And this is the reason why we are focusing on this so much this year. The Lord spoke to me. He says, if you're going to build a kingdom community, it has to be built on everyone agreeing to obey the same laws. The laws must be common. None of us should be committing adultery. None of us should be interested in divorce. None of us should be shacking up. None of us should be fornicating. None of us should be lying. None of us should be stealing. None of us should be bearing false witness. None of us should be covetous. None of us should be doing stuff that we shouldn't be doing. In other words, let's all agree we're in the country of God. Is that fair? Yeah. So we have an accountability to the government. Now we know the government is in our interest. The kingdom of heaven want to bless us. But the kingdom says you also got to be accountable to the heaven. You have to stop at that red light.